Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to Rodney Cates, Director of Rockingham County Emergency Services, 911. Rodney, always good to have you in the program. How are you?
Good morning, Mike. Good to be here.
Well, I know we have a lot of things to talk about. Let's mention first the Rockingham County Fire Marshal's Office having this Operation Christmas Cheer toy drive through the 15th. Can you bring us up to date on that, Rodney?
This actually began last year. The Fire Marshal's Office and the North Carolina, they are now members of the North Carolina Burn Children's Association, as well as all the fire departments. There's a Rockingham chapter for the North Carolina Burn Children's Foundation now that was started by some of our volunteer firefighters. The Monroe Fire Department, their chief, got that started, and they collect toys, newly purchased, unwrapped toys, and you can deposit those at your local fire department or at the county government center. There are several collection sites around the county, and what the Fire Marshal's Office, again, with several of the fire departments that participate, they take a convoy of fire trucks and fire personnel and all of the toys to the North Carolina Burn Children's location or their facility, which is at UNC Chapel Hill, the hospital there, and they give those toys to the staff, and those toys are then distributed to children who may not be able to get out of the hospital for Christmas, or their families may not be able to provide some gifts for those children for Christmas. So it's a very worthwhile cause. It's a very warming cause, for this time of year, or any time of year, but especially during the Christmas time.
Sure, yeah. Okay, well, that's going on now, so you can take those new unwrapped items to basically all of the fire stations around the county, I believe.
Yes, that is correct. And on the county webpage is more information on it, of where those collection sites are, or they can call the Fire Marshal's Office, and we'll collect the toys, whatever we need to do. Last year we had a trailer, and then we'll do the same thing this year. We have a large enclosed trailer, and last year that trailer was filled from top to bottom, from the floor to the ceiling. When we got to Chapel Hill, I actually went with them last year, and we unloaded toys and boxes of toys for probably an hour, giving them to the staff there. So very, very wonderful cause for this time of year.
Yeah, that is great. Going through November 15th, that just shows you what generous people we have, caring people we have right here in Rockingham County.
That is true.
When I was there recently for George Casey's retirement, which was just a wonderful event that you put on there for his 30 years at 911, I heard some conversation there about, just like everywhere, a shortage, and this is nationwide, of qualified people in emergency services. This is always an issue, isn't it, Rodney?
It is, and we see it more now than we ever have, and it is a nationwide thing. If you turn the news on, the news almost every time you turn them on will capture some element of the shortage of healthcare providers or public safety in general, police officers, firefighters, EMS people, EMTs, paramedics. It's a nationwide shortage, and we certainly are feeling that here in Rockingham County. So it's a crisis. It's a very concerning crisis, but it's one that's not just a Rockingham County crisis. It's a nationwide crisis right now.
Yeah. Tell us about the bonus program that's underway now. I believe you said it's 6 months here in the county to kind of help in this situation.
It began back September the 21st. We went to the county administration and proposed some type of incentive plan to recognize our members who are picking up extra shifts and doing what is needed to keep our trucks active and on the road, and keeping as many trucks staffed as we can. So the county approved the use of the American Rescue Funds money that they received, and it met all the criteria. The plan that was put forth before them, and we worked with county finance and the county legal staff, our county administration, our county manager and assistant county manager, to make sure we met all the criteria. But we were able to put together a plan where our staff, that our EMS staff that comes on duty as an extra shift, and that shift is necessary for the basic operation of our service, meaning we're not shutting a truck down by them coming into work. They get a $100 bonus and that $100 bonus is actually budgeted to where they get the $100. We tried to factor it in with the taxes. We didn't want to provide a $100 bonus that taxes then took 40% out of it, and they only got $60 for the extra day of work that they did. So we have it worked out where they actually get the $100 bonus, and it's worked well for us. We sometimes still struggle with staffing from time to time, but the $100 bonus has been very productive, very useful for us, and we'll continue it for 6 months. And we have the option, or the county management has the option, to extend it longer if we need to, if staffing is still an issue, or if we have maintained a better level of staffing, we can cease the program if need be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Well, and I guess really that's for those that are already there. What do we need to do to help with this shortage and get the people in there that we need?
Well, we just send the message out. It's a recruiting message. The saving of one's life is very rewarding. It's not always about the money. It's about that feeling that you have made a difference in someone's life. You have preserved that life. You have done something that certainly made a difference for that person for the rest of their lives. And that in the EMS and the public safety world is perhaps the more rewarding part than the actual salary. So
sure.
People don't always go into emergency services for the money of it. They go into it for those feelings and those thoughts of making a difference in one's life. So if there are people listening today that want to make a difference in people's lives and want to be a true lifesaver, then we would encourage them to come and talk to us from the 911 side, the EMS side, EMTs, advanced EMTs, paramedics, Fire Marshal's Office, emergency management personnel. We would love to talk to them about a career and which career path fits in best with them. From the law enforcement side, there's a law enforcement shortage now. I came from the law enforcement side, so I can certainly carry on those conversations with interested individuals about the law enforcement side and what to be expected on the law side. So we would encourage anybody that is interested in any type of public safety career, get in touch with us, come talk with us. We'll get you in touch with the right people and hopefully get you to embark on a career where you certainly make a difference in lives.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Making a difference, how rewarding that is. And I saw a story recently that you did about there's really been an increase. The calls, the need is even greater now than in the past, isn't it?
It is. We ran some numbers and compared them to 2020. We ran them for the calendar year of January 1, 2020 through the end of September, and we compared that to 2021. We're up a little over 2,000 calls for service on the EMS side. Overall, the entire call volume is up. From the 911 perspective, law enforcement is the highest call volume that we have. Law enforcement calls make up about 74% of our call volume that we process through the 911 center. But just looking exclusively at the EMS side of it, they're up over 2,000 calls during that 10-month period, which is more than 200 calls per month. So when you compare that or relate that to an increase in call volume and then a decrease in staff because some have taken on non-traditional paramedic and or EMT positions, it certainly creates an issue that logistically we have to work out, and that's where we go back to the bonus program where we're recognizing our members for picking up these extra shifts. And, we have a very dedicated staff, and they do an outstanding job in all the divisions of emergency services. Our 911 crew does the exact same thing. They pick up extra shifts, and they work overtime, and it takes dedication to make it all happen, and we are very fortunate in having the dedicated staff that we do.
Sure. Okay. Always appreciate them. Lots of partnerships countywide with emergency services. So many people involved, different departments, agencies. And Rockingham County Schools is one of those, and you're doing something now with them. Tell us about that project.
Yeah, we've actually worked with the schools, and it's actually their project. They asked us to join in actually because of some infrastructure that we already had here in the county. They're putting together a school bus radio project, The project is well underway. It received final approval at the Board of County Commissioners meeting this past Monday night. They'll be putting UHF 2A radios on the school buses where the administration can talk to the buses as they travel. If there's a problem on the bus, it can immediately be reported via radio. If it is an emergency situation, the bus drivers will actually have the opportunity or the availability to talk directly to the 911 center. If there's a medical event or the bus were in a traffic collision or something of that nature, they can call directly to the 911 center. You know, speed and efficiency is the essence of the mitigation of an emergent situation. So the quicker we can get that notification, the quicker we can get resources to whatever the situation is. So the school bus drivers being able to report these things immediately will certainly be an asset to the safety of the students and the travel of our students up and down the roadway in the school buses.
Oh, that's great. How soon before this starts?
It actually is underway now. They are working with their selected vendor, and I actually talked to the vendor on Monday night as well as the school officials. So the administrative part of it pretty much is done. The planning and of the project is done. So now they're in an implementation project. So it'll be the need to order the supplies, which will be done by the vendor, schedule the installation. So hopefully within the next several months, this project will be completed.
Mm-hmm. Do we know approximately how many radios we're talking about?
I don't. That was all done through the planning part on the school side. We already had some UHF antennas on our tower that's already here that were not being utilized, and we didn't have any future plans for them. So that's how we got involved, was to say, hey, we've already got these assets. You know, certainly tap into those if you need to. It's a cost savings for the project, which made the project more manageable for everybody, and it utilized some existing infrastructure that we're not using anymore.
Yeah, that's great to have that right here with Rockingham County Schools. Okay, well, is there anything else we need to talk about before we finish up, Rodney?
No, we're good. Weather's getting colder. You know, make sure we talked about, I think last time, the heaters and the chimneys, and make sure that those are safe elements for the heating of the houses, and make sure that we're using proper heating systems and that do not create any dangers within our homes as the times get colder and things of that nature during this time. But overall, things are going well. And
be careful if you're deep frying a turkey, right?
Yes, very, very much so. That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Some precautions needed there. Rodney, always great to talk to you. Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Okay, you too. All right, that's our monthly segment with Rodney Cates. He is Director of Rockingham County Emergency Services 911. Hats off to everyone there. They do just an outstanding job. For the county website, get more information at myrockinghamcountync.com, and on Facebook, you can keep up to the minute on what they're doing at Rockingham County Emergency Services.